In the fading light of a busy street, a scene unfolds that most people hurry past, too wrapped up in their own worlds to notice. An elderly man, out for his evening stroll with his faithful companion, suddenly stumbles, his legs give way, and he collapses onto the cold, hard pavement. His dog, a beautiful golden retriever, immediately rushes to his side. Panic fills the air as the dog nudges his owner's hand, whining softly, then barking, a desperate plea for help that seems to echo and hurt against the city's indifferent hum. A few passers-by slow their pace, their faces a mixture of confusion and concern. But no one stops. They see an old man on the ground, a frantic dog, and assume the worst. The distant wail of a siren grows louder, cutting through the evening noise, a beacon of hope in a moment of despair. The flashing lights paint the street in stark reds and blues, casting long, dramatic shadows. It's a moment frozen in time, where it felt like everything was already too late. The ambulance screeches to a halt. Two paramedics jump out, their movements swift and practiced. They assess the situation, their professional calm a stark contrast to the dog's raw and filtered panic. They carefully lift the man onto a stretcher, securing him for the journey ahead. The dog, whose name is Max, tries with all his might to follow. He leaps towards the back of the ambulance, his barks now sharp and piercing, a heartbreaking cry to not be left behind. But the doors are closed firmly in his face. He watches, helpless, as the vehicle pulls away, its lights disappearing into the river of traffic. For a moment, he gives chase, his paws pounding against the wet asphalt. A futile attempt to keep up, but the ambulance is too fast. Defeated, he slows to a stop, his body slumping. As a cold rain begins to fall, soaking his golden fur, he doesn't seek shelter. Instead, he turns back and finds the empty spot where the ambulance had been parked. And there, he sits, waiting. He refuses to leave. The hours crawl by. The steady drizzle becomes a downpour, plastering Max's fur to his shivering body. He doesn't move. He just sits there, a silent, solitary sentinel, his eyes fixed on the spot where he last saw his world disappear. He becomes a fixture on the quiet hospital street corner, a poignant statue of loyalty. A kind woman, leaving her late shift, notices him. She approaches cautiously, offering a piece of her sandwich. Max lifts his head, gives a weak wag of his tail in acknowledgement of her kindness, but turns his nose away from the food. Hunger is a distant concern. His heart is consumed by a single, all-encompassing need. Another person leaves a bowl of water, but it remains untouched, the rain quickly overfilling its sides. His vigil is absolute. He isn't just waiting. He is holding onto a thread of hope with every fiber of his being. The night deepens, the city's sounds soften to a distant hum, but Max remains, his resolve unbroken, as the relentless rain finally subsides. The darkness of night begins to bleed into the soft, gray hues of dawn. The street lights flicker and die out, one by one, as the first rays of sunlight tentatively peek over the city skyline. Max is still there, in the exact same spot. His fur is matted and damp, his body exhausted, but his eyes, when they catch the light, are still filled with an unwavering hope. He looks less like a beloved pet now, and more like a stray, abandoned and forgotten. People on their way to work pass by, some giving him a look of pity, others not noticing him at all. To them, he is just another sad story on the city streets, a dog with nowhere to go. They couldn't know the depth of his devotion, the purpose behind his patient wait. They all thought he was just a stray, lost and alone. But Max wasn't lost. He knew exactly where he needed to be. The quiet of the early morning is suddenly broken by the familiar sound of an engine. The same ambulance from the night before pulls up, parking in almost the exact same spot. Max's ears perk up. He rises to his feet, his tired body trembling with a new energy, a mix of anticipation and anxiety. The back doors of the ambulance swing open. For a heart-stopping moment, it's empty. But then, a figure appears in the doorway. It's him, his owner. He's moving slowly, a little unsteady, but he is standing. He is alive. Time seems to stop as their eyes meet across the parking lot. A soft smile breaks across the man's face. Max lets out a single, joyous bark and breaks into a run. It's not the frantic sprint of the night before, but a pure, unadulterated dash of pure love and relief. He leaps into his owner's open arms, and they embrace, a tangle of happy whimpers, gentle pats, and overwhelming emotion. The cold, blue light of the night is gone, replaced by the warm, golden glow of the sunrise, enveloping them both. He wasn't waiting for an ambulance. He was waiting for his whole world.